Hey there, everybody. Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with a look at these awesome down jackets from the company Decathlon. Now, I've been wearing my jacket now for around a month. It has been absolutely awesome. And, well, I have both the men's and women's version here. And what I can tell you right away is if you're coming into a holiday season looking to get a gift for somebody for their birthday, or just looking to make your day by getting an awesome down jacket, you might want to take a look here at the MT100. Absolutely fantastic down jacket, lightweight, but very comfortable. Form fit, just very, very comfortable. Now, we've used these jackets in a number of different scenarios. More specifically, I've been able to use this for an everyday wear. I've been able to take this out to the mountains, and I've been able to use it for some other specific scenarios, and absolutely great. I do have to say, these jackets are awesome. The MT100, nice and warm, pretty much hitting a range from between 23 degrees Fahrenheit to around 41 degrees Fahrenheit. I did find that you can push this just a little bit lower, but it does get a little bit cold. You can push it a little bit higher, and you'll definitely start to sweat. So a nice range between 23 degrees and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Made with the 800 fill power down. Nice, lightweight, compact design. Everything folding away into its own double zippered pocket, which is awesome. Water resistant and treated, so you do have a little bit of a water resistant treatment. The outside made from a 15 denier, 35 gram per square meter, 100% polyamide outer fabric, exhibiting 2 external pockets and weighing in at 11.3 ounces. Now you'll see that not only myself, but my wife has one of these jackets, the MT100, fitting women beautifully. A nice cut, actually. It is a little bit different from the men's, where you can see there's an additional panel that helps with the overall shape, and it is a little bit of an athletic fit overall. So this isn't quite going to be boxy, which women are definitely going to enjoy that about the Simon MT100. Again, just a nice quality shape. And even on days where it's a little bit windy and blustery, this does do a nice job. You can use these everywhere from your general everyday wear through the deeper mountains and a little more of that sort of outdoor heavy-duty activity. Fitting very well and nice. The sleeves a perfect length, the body a perfect length. Just an excellent overall construction and working extremely well.
So you see that there is a double zipper, and that works out pretty well, where the entire jacket can now be folded into its own pocket. Very simple, very basic, and as long as you are careful, this will zip into itself. And the nice thing is it actually has a little bit of a tag here, which allows you to kind of hold on to it. And while you zip this shut, pretty simple. Now if you're not careful, you can clearly get the down kind of trapped in the zipper, but just take your time. And pretty straightforward. And that is a nice tidy little package right there.
So not only did I wear my MT100 for daily wear, but this was instrumental in some of my outdoor activities. Climbing a mountain, needing something that was lightweight and the ability to pack it away, yet break it out when I absolutely needed the warmth. Perfect. It got a little bit wrinkled, but not a big deal. And in fact, it sorted itself out very quickly. Again, the Decathlon MT100, just about perfect, giving me that excellent balance between lightweight capability and the warmth that I need while I was out on the trails. Getting that perfect temperature range and just beautiful for your mid to late fall, early winter capability. Again, the MT100, just awesome. So now that you've seen these jackets in good field use, we'll go through the features. First off, again, just excellent construction, nice baffles. I kind of like that. It starts out with everything on an angle, but then by the time you work towards the bottom, tightening up, kind of gives this just a real nice athletic look and feel. And because these do contain the 800 fill power down, these are not only very warm, but lightweight, which is just great. It gives you that very just nice, comfortable feel while you're wearing this, something that's not going to weigh you down, but definitely gives you excellent warmth. And I'll go as far as to say also wind resistance. I've had this on in a number of different very windy locations, and from that perspective, working wonderfully. I didn't find any drafty areas or anything like that, so I feel like the down coverage is very good and suitable. Nice quality zippers with simple pulls, YKK zippers, and what I like what they did, and it's just a couple little subtleties. On the lower section of the zipper, you'll notice that they take this internal baffle, so there's kind of like a wind baffle, but then they angle it just enough and tuck it underneath so that you don't get the zipper caught every time you go to zip this up, and that works extremely well. Other designs are not quite so thought through, and I've definitely had trouble with these interior baffles, but this does a nice job to cut down on the wind and also give you some additional protection. Cool two-tone design where you get that gray on the inside and you can see the baffles on the inside of the jacket. Also very nice. Great shape overall, and the men's and women's are cut just a little bit different, where you'll see that the women's jacket introduces additional cut to give just a little more shape, kind of more of that hourglass shape that you like to see from women's designs, and it does work very well. As you take a look here, you can see just excellent construction all the way around. Very simple yet effective, and that does aid overall in the general athletic cut and fit you get from these Decathlon MT100s. Now, just a couple little nuances. As you take a look at the women's version, you'll see this is labeled as 4-class. 4-class was the former line for the Decathlon products, kind of in their, I'd say more like mid to higher end products, falling into 4-class, but they are rebranding. And you'll see at this point, Simond. And the Simond line actually goes back to the history and tradition of Decathlon, the Simond products. Kind of, at this point, their flagship models. But then again, that does go back to a time when that was their flagship decades ago, which is kind of cool. So anyway, you may get one that is either branded as 4-class or Simond, but both of them essentially the same. At this point, again, moving forward, it will be branded as Simond products. The pocket's very effective, and as you take a look here, you can see, again, just that tag on the inside. So the packable pocket, giving you the ability to tuck everything into itself. Now, if there was one little thing that I could say would have enhanced this, but it's not a big deal, just some adjustability on the hood. But the hood is shaped so well that it really doesn't need it, to be honest. Sometimes I do like to have the adjustable drawstrings to kind of cinch it down and then buy you the space that you need to be able to see out the side of the hood for your peripheral vision, but they seem to have gotten the shape about perfect, and that really hasn't been too big of a problem for me. A little bit of adjustment would go a long way, but again, I would say absolutely not a deal breaker, and it really doesn't matter that much, at least from what I found on the MT100. These are treated with a water-resistant coating. I did find that a couple of times I got just a little bit splashed, and it did a nice job to bead, and not really too much in the way of heavy rain, and I wouldn't expect to wear something like this in heavy rain anyway. Working across the inside, simple pocket here. You can see just a nice simple pocket for gloves, keeping your basic essentials, a hat, something like that on the inside. That is the case on one side, not the other. And just a simple little adjustment on the lower cuff around your waist. Generally speaking, very, very nice. And as I said from the very beginning, if you want to either treat yourself or make somebody happy, just go get them one of these awesome MT100s from Decathlon. Links in the description box below. Very, very nicely done. I can say I love mine. Great colors too, by the way. I'm not usually a blue fan, but this was just such a nice deep blue, kind of in that slate range. Awesome, awesome. Just great fit, nice features, well trimmed out. And yeah, my wife, she loves hers too. So again, thank you to the people at Decathlon who did provide these for review. Check the description box below for the relevant links. And so with that, take care now. I'll see you soon.